Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes Reacts. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Edwina Curry.
Edwina Curry. Fair play. What kind of curry?
Edwina's.
Edwina's Corman. Anyway, Office Bloke Mike is going to tell you the name of our Patreon page.
Yeah, well, go to patreon.com and put in Office Blokes React if you want to support the channel, and go and have a look there and yeah, check it out.
Yeah, good stuff. Office Bloke Daz on Instagram is going to give you the names of our two other channels.
Cheers, Office Bloke Dave on Instagram.
That's all right, no problem.
It's Office Blokes Try and Office Blokes Podcast.
Yep, by the
Find
boom.
them.
And on Office Blokes Podcast, we're starting a new segment, Office Blokes Confidential. Just drop us an email at officeblokespodcast@gmail.com. Give us your problems in your personal life, dilemmas you might be facing, maybe you're at a crossroads, big decision to make, all that sort of stuff. And we are going to try and have a bit of fun with it, maybe give some advice, maybe just take the piss out of you, whatever you want to do. It's going to be good fun.
It is.
And we are just trying to put some smiles on some faces. That is it.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. Good stuff.
As we cross 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, cheers.
Getting close.
We're like there on 100,000 subs, aren't
coming
we?
this week.
Yeah.
Coming to you this week, thanks to you.
Yeah. If I've wanted one of those plaques for years, I've been jealous of people that get them.
Yeah.
So it'd be amazing if we get one.
Touching distance.
Yeah. Profile picture. Anyway, historical misconceptions for you to bring up during a family dinner. We're going to be careful not to turn this one into a podcast because it seems like it's going to be one of them.
Do you reckon?
We could, I think it is where we could discuss it for a long time, but we'll get into it. And this is Sam and Ella's Academy. Wasn't this guy the hilarious one?
Sam and Ella.
I think so, yeah.
Hence the Edwina Curry reference.
That's right, yeah.
Right, let's do it then. Historical misconceptions for you to bring up during family dinner, unless you live alone.
This episode of Sam and Ella Academy is brought to you by Skillshare. Hey kid. Yeah, you. I just got off the phone with the big man upstairs, and he told me that I need to clear a few things up around here. So without further ado, here's 10 pieces of malarkey that you might still be spreading. Number 1. Nobody was ever burned to death at the Salem witch trials. Of the accused, 15 died in prison, 19 were hanged, and 1 was squished to death. That last one is way more interesting than any cremation, by the way. Dude was a badass. His name was Giles Corey. He was 81 years old and so done with the town of Salem's garbage that he wouldn't even dignify the trial with a plea. So the town stuck in between 2 boards and stacked rocks on top of him in an effort to draw out a confession. But every time they tried to get something out of him, all he would say was, "More weight." This went on for 3 solid days.
Oh, he's a perv, wasn't he?
No, I've been saying, no, wait.
Yeah, no way. All right.
Until he finally died, never giving any indication as to whether or not he was a witch. One can only wonder. Number 2, the OG Buddha wasn't the obese guy. That's Budai, a Chinese folk character meant to represent Maitreya, aka future Buddha. Now this shirt is double sad. Number 3, Buddha wasn't a god either. He was just a guy named Gautama. Now this shirt is triple sad. Number 4, ever heard of a vomitorium? Turns out no,
Yeah.
it's not a place where Roman nobles.
I thought that was a thing, and I've talked about it loads.
Oh, yeah.
So this is one of those misconceptions. It's where the theory is that the affluent Romans could eat that much because they could afford it, that they went to the vomitorium to puke it all back up so they could carry on eating.
Start again.
It's like
Why
gluttony.
would you call it
isn't
a vomitorium if it was like deep and it was like a thing like you should call it an unwell?
Yeah.
would go to make room for more pheasant spleen and lobster eyelids. It's just a big entranceway to the coliseums that hordes of peasants would spew out of. Number 5, Washington never cut down a cherry tree in his youth. I don't get this one at all. Apparently it's supposed to paint the man in a good light somehow. It's like, Tyler, what the hell happened while we were gone? Where's the tree in the front yard? Oh yeah, that was me. Got bored. Just felt like vandalizing something, you know? Hey, what about my honest character? Number 6, the pyramids weren't actually built by slaves. These workers were respected members of society. They ate meat and worked in 3-month shifts, and even got to be buried right next to the tomb after their death. Matter of fact, that's more than we can say for the people working on man's greatest achievements today. If I spent years of my life helping to build the space station, you're damn right I'd want the Salmonella Memorial Corpse Receptacle floating along right next to it. That would be amazing. Number 7, the Great Wall of China is not the only only man-made object visible from space. I don't know where you dipshits got this one from. First of all, there's no way you could see it with the unaided eye. The wall is like 30 meters thick at most, while the distance to outer space is generally recognized to be 100 kilometers up, known as the Kármán line. To give some perspective, that's like me holding up a standard-sized guitar pick from across the entire length of a football field and asking you what color it is. Also, there are plenty of man-made objects that are way bigger in terms of local surface area than the Great Wall, so even if it was visible, there's no way it would be the only one. Number 8, you might have heard this one before. You know, Hitler was a jerk and all, but hey, he made the Autobahn, so at least he was efficient. Actually, Hitler didn't create the Autobahn. It was...
That's not what people talk about Hitler in terms of efficiency for.
I wouldn't have thought so. Well, yeah.
Not building the
I wouldn't have thought so.
already there. He just helped expand it into newer territory. In a similar vein, Mussolini didn't make the trains run on time, with most of Italy's infrastructure repairs happening before his rise to power in 1922, and even then they weren't nearly as punctual as he'd like you to believe. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to find something else to like about these fascists, like Hitler's elegant way of speaking, or the way Mussolini says spaghetti. Number 9.
I had spaghetti and meatballs with the kids last night, and that's how Phoebe says it, Paschetti. Yeah. So her Mussolini.
Your kid, mate, yeah.
Iron Maidens weren't actual torture devices used in medieval times. Basically what happened is, some archaeologists in the 1800s saw an old metal coffin and some spikes, and said, yo, wouldn't it be wildin' if we put these things up in here, so that way if someone goes in it, they get poked in their bits? You are a sick man, Cornelius. I like it. Into the museum it goes. At least Iron Maiden was real. They were as real as it gets. Still are. And don't you forget it. Number 10. Einstein never failed math. He had mastered both integral and differential calculus by the age of 15. 99% chance this one was just made up to make glue eaters feel better about themselves. Well, congratulations, Dimitri. Looks like you failed pre-algebra for the 3rd time. Brady still can't graduate. Well, hey, that means I'm still on par with famous smart science man, so, yeah, worship me. So it just goes to show that we've all got a lot to learn about the world around us. That's why you need to go to Skillshare. Skillshare.
That was great. That was great.
Yeah, there's a load of stuff like that, isn't there? The people come up and make shit.
Yeah.
The thing I'm learning nowadays from the internet is if you're going to spout things like that, you've got to know some sources.
Yeah.
So that applies to his video as well. So if at the dinner table someone talks about how the pyramids were built by slaves, and I go, actually, and then say, no, it wasn't, then people are going to go, what's your sources?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go, Salmonella Academy.
Yeah, and they'll say,
and they're going to go, well, what's his sources? Where's the proof? And then we're just going round in a big circle.
Exactly, yeah.
They were actually treated very well. They used to eat meat. How do you know that, Dave? Tell me how you know they ate meat.
At this point, I'd probably just fucking leave the table. I'd be like, what the fuck? Yeah. Talking about the fucking Egyptian fucking pyramids again.
Yeah, we'll talk about football instead.
That's where I've started. I start every sentence like that with allegedly or so I'm told.
Or to be fair.
To be fair, to be sure. You got to give yourself that get out before you even open your mouth.
I mean, it's a bit like conspiracy theories, isn't it? You know, there's certain facts out there, but then a conspiracy theory comes up and people try and change it. That's like a modern misconception as well, isn't it? About
there's a lot of
other things.
Out there
same type of thing, I think, along the same type of line. So
I've been listening to, like, you've said recently someone that you know or may not know allegedly is now into conspiracy theories, and loads of people have been telling me that recently. And then yesterday I got the news that a family member of mine has now gone that way, and I'm just like, oh, fuck's sake. Yeah, COVID isn't real, isn't it? So what did I have a couple of months ago when I was really ill? Right. Okay.
Yeah, don't get that one. I don't get it at all.
Yeah. Everyone can have their own beliefs on what they want to believe. Just don't ram it down my face.
You believe whatever you want. That's fine. Absolutely. I do not give a shit.
If people want to believe something else, like I say, whatever, but yeah, keep it to yourself.
Anyway, hope you guys like that too. Don't forget like and subscribe, and don't believe everything you read.
And don't believe everything you hear us say.
Even better. But what you can do is you can go and check out our other channels. Do that. It's all in the description, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Cheers. Guys.